Hey people, this is Ashley with Music After Dark HTX. And this is super cool. This is someone who I don't know at all. Like, I really don't know you at all. I don't think I've never been to a show. I've never seen you play anywhere.
Ouch.
I haven't, I know. So let's talk about that. Let's do your name and what band you're in. Because they hooked it up with some merch.
Yeah. Well, I'm Brett. I'm the lead singer and lead songwriter for When in May.
I love that. Okay, and how many people are in the band? Because I have you tonight. Are we missing people?
So when it comes to the basis of the band, we have an ever-evolving cast, but currently at the moment we have 4 key members.
That's actually like a common thread with some bands.
Yeah, I mean, bands nowadays are mostly pioneered by 1 or 2 members anyway. It's basically a glorified solo project. I'm just not pretty enough to be a pop star.
So how long have you guys been together?
So the group of guys that you see currently that's going to be gracing the stage with me and a few other shows we have coming up, they just came aboard and we just did a show a couple nights ago at the 19th hole in the Woodlands.
Did you really? Okay. See,
but as far as the project goes, it just turned.
Really? So you started a little bit, I guess, after COVID, in the middle of COVID?
Yeah, about a year after COVID.
A year after COVID. How did you guys meet? Because you said it was revolving, right? You replaced.
So it was me that was wanting to do something musically and creatively, and I met one of my closest friends. His name's Keon Nahali. He's our main producer. He lives out in Florida, so we kind of just started bouncing things and ideas back and forth with each other, and then after a while, we had some decent tunes that we wanted to put out there, and it kind of came. At first, it was just going to be something that we just posted online, and then there was a demand for us to start playing shows. So
that's really cool. So there's a demand for you guys to start doing shows. So you must have some sort of like good following and stuff, right, on social media?
Yeah, no, we do. As far as streams, it goes up and down, especially because our first year of releasing music, because last year was our.
I love it. The joys of filming.
Last year was the first year of us having music actually released instead of us just doing shows. So we released 7 songs last year.
Wow.
5 of them being on the EP we gave you for allowing us to be on your show. And then, so we kind of keep growing and growing and growing. This month we're dropping another single that's what we're calling for our next EP.
You guys are busy.
Gotta be.
Wow.
With the demographic and the people that are online, you got a short attention span, so you gotta stay up in arms,
And you played 19th hole. What other shows do you have coming up? Do you have any other shows coming up?
On January 31st, we're gonna be playing White Swan. It's gonna be we're headlining. Then the next day, February 1st, we're gonna be at Dance Electros.
Oh, that's cool. So you're like double booked. That would be fun.
we do.
Those are 2 very different venues, in my opinion, too.
Well, we have a very large sound. If you're ever able to come see us play, we have about 4 EPs worth of music that I've written, and that does range from disco all the way to hard rock. All my favorite bands have such a large range of sound just like that, and I want to be a band when you put us on shuffle in the car, you have your best friends in the back, they're questioning if that's the same band or not.
That's cool. That's actually really cool. I love that. That's a really good motto. I think everyone should maybe do that. I love that. So White Swan and then Dan Ledros. That's cool. How are you guys booking shows? Do you have to go through, like, are you guys making friends and networking, and that's how you're able to do some
always.
of these shows?
So with White Swan and 19th Hole, those 2 venues, those are pretty much becoming second homes for us. But it took us a long time to get, recognition in Houston. So our first 10 shows were in San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas.
Really?
Yeah, it was all out of town. We were, and that was so
How did that happen? Wait, how did that happen when you guys all live in Houston?
We don't know. And that's a good problem to have. A lot of bands have trouble getting out.
Yeah,
of town.
there's a lot of.
We're having trouble getting in town. So
want to get out of Houston.
And then we even have some friends in Laredo that have plans for us. And again, me just not being afraid to talk to people as well. I mean, I'm the lead singer. I got to be able to talk to people, right? Just always networking. Always telling people, hey, if you have someone drop, let us know. And then, of course, with my knowledge of how to book shows, sometimes if a headlining band drops from a venue that we're friends with, they'll ask if I want the date, and I'll just try to book my friends. And
really
we'll
smart.
we'll just try to, bounce off each other and bring people for a good night.
So it's really like supporting and helping.
That's what the scene should be like.
That's what it should be like. Yes. So wow. Okay. Usually I'm like, where would you like to play in Houston? But apparently there's a lot of places you would like to play in Houston.
No, of course.
Like White Oak, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'd love to play White Oak, and House of Blues would be.
House of Blues.
Of course, like I think every musician's trying to do Toyota Center and NRG, but for me, House of Blues would kind of show the peak of success that I would want to achieve. Because you and I were talking before we started. You've done Scout Bar, we've done Scout Bar.
Yeah, it's so funny. He lives down in Pasadena, and I live on the east side, right? So we're basically like in reverse. Because I'm always working. Like Saturday, me and Sabrina have the thing at Kipro's. So it's like I'm always down there. So it's interesting to have a band come up here. Yay, thank you. This is fun. What advice, because I know the answer to one question. Okay, so let me go back. Merch. Yes, they do merch. Do you think bands should have merch?
So I say yes, but also at the same time, like if a band's trying to do vinyl, go to your bank, pull out $4,000 and hold it in your hand and see if you want to burn it, right? It's a very cluttered market. I recommend like doing cassettes. That is such a cheap way. The CD and shirt that you got, I made myself. So, like when it came to just learning how to do it yourself, one, it's a piece. It's talking, right? And I'll tell a lot of people, do one side merch, right? You don't need back print. You don't need arm print. I understand you want to stick out, but I treat people with my shirts of like, you're a walking billboard for my brand.
Yeah.
Right? If it's a cool design, you have a cool logo, or if it's very simplistic but stands out and it's bold, I think yes, but also like there's two things. One, don't just do it off of a vinyl Cricut machine that you got a Hobby Lobby for like, $20.
Okay.
But also don't try to get conned into doing 500 shirts from a printing company either. So try to mingle, try to meet people that have knowledge on how to do it, and see if you can't. You and a few bands work in to try to do everything. And again, make sure you and your band, if it's again a full band effort, everyone should go in equally on it,
See, okay, and how does that work? So you're the songwriter. So is it like you make all the decisions, or do you?
I will get advice.
Okay.
I will definitely show my work and what I'm working on with my fellow members and just kind of get their range. I'm very lucky to all the drummers I've worked with, all the bass players, guitarists, saxophone players, whatever. They've all been very excited for the stuff I bring them. So there's never been any type of like clashing. They'll always just try to add to what I've made. Because again, I'm not a bass player, I'm not a drummer. I can't operate in the rhythm section, right? Even though I play rhythm guitar on stage, I kind of let them fill in the gaps.
Okay.
Because I would say my band is pretty much a Tears for Fears ripoff. Just 4/4, 4/4, just keep it going. Nice beat. Try to have try to say the hook. All that. So. But when it comes to like the design and everything, like aesthetically, we do have a wardrobe that I make the band wear. It's very similar to what I'm wearing right now.
So you don't wear your own merch and stuff.
No, I personally I don't. I wear.
And there's no right or wrong answer.
I wear it to the gym, to talk to people. But when I'm trying to sell myself, this is how I want to be sold. There are some Easter eggs we do put from the music videos that we're gonna start like wearing like on our shirts and stuff. Just trying to like make it feel like it's all coming together and connecting.
I interviewed a band last night that has some Easter eggs and some things that they talked about, so that's cool. That's exciting, I think, that you guys are doing that. It's like engaging, right, and getting people to interact with you.
Yeah, and with our like stage gimmick, we're the band of the bar, right? So that's kind of our thing is I play a very over dramatic version of myself where I'm already sloshed, drunk, whatever, and our set lists are actually menus. So when you turn it over, and I'll show you obviously after this, but again, like we give those out to people and they think it's so awesome.
That is awesome.
We have people that will take pictures of it and send it to us with them hanging up on their wall. I'm like, that's amazing, And especially because like we sometimes get stuck in between some really great acts. So the fact that we can still make a mark and be rememberable is awesome. And we've had people bring their set list back saying like, hey, why wasn't this song on the list? They don't point, they'll have to remember. And so it's a good problem to have.
That is a good problem.
Because I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel with my music. I'm just trying to make things that I like. I'm trying to be a fan of myself first. So like when I make songs, like people are like, oh, it sounds similar to this, this, or this. I'm like, perfect, thank you. That's exactly what I was going for. I wanted to have familiarity with my own twist. Are there some songs that I've completely written that's like has no rhyme or reason? Of course. Like our next song, or our next EP first intro track is called Dynamics in the Morning. That is pretty much just a rock ballad song that I just went in with wanting to get some aggression out. I had a lot of Deftones and Tool on my mind when I was writing that song.
Okay.
So again, a pop rock band taking an approach with Tool and Deftones.
Well, I think we live in a world of a mixing of genres now, so I think it's okay, right?
Oh, 100%. I don't think, again, like there's some albums that have come out, and I guess I'll throw some shade at a band, Panic at the Disco band. The Vegas album gimmick, just like all the songs kind of bled together, and I couldn't distinguish anything apart. So like, and that's there's some bands in town and out of town that don't know how to learn when to end a song. So like you can't hear the difference, right? There's some people that definitely have like an audio processing issue. So I try to cater to those people, like they can distinguish the sounds of our set. So we try our best to really reflect on people that may be hard of hearing or audio processing issues and things like that. Just because we want everyone to feel like they can be immersed. And again, like with our aesthetic as well, I take this. When Kiss took off the makeup, it was their best music, but nobody cared because it took off the makeup. So we just try to do all the smaller things that we feel like bands in our scene aren't doing.
Well, because I ask that sometimes, like, venues are closing, right? Numbers are dwindling at shows. I don't even know if people actually stay for the last act anymore, right? Is it because it's not really a show?
So we've been put in the very last spot a few times, and we've been very thankful to not have ever played in an empty room.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
No, 100%. Because there's been some times where we're running a show and we're on right before, and we've tried to put ourselves in a position where, like, if we really are good friends with the band, or like, we think these are good people, we'll try to shift the night around to where, because we bring a good chunk of people. I'm not saying we sell out, 200 plus people, right? But we'll go anywhere from 20 to 50 people, depending on the night. But once our set's up, we really do try to encourage people to always tip the bar staff and to always stay for the acts. At least talk to them, if you can't stay for the whole set, at least watch a few of them. So I will say it's a number of, when you bring people to a show, they're there for you. Like if there's a head count, they're saying they're for you, they may leave. I don't think it's the fact of it's not a show. I mean, I've met a lot of incredible acts. I've gotten to talk to some really great people by just staying because I'm the only guy there.
Right.
There's a few bands that have traveled from Oklahoma. Friends from Laredo have traveled, stayed and talked to them, just enjoying their set. And then now we're friends. We support each other. I release something, they're the first ones to comment. And vice versa. So I will say that's my bit of encouragement. Please stay for all the acts.
So you never know when you might hear something like
exactly.
you actually really do like.
And we've even had some people when it's a middle of our set, people will try to wave us down saying bye, or they're saying sorry, whatever. We appreciate that, but again, just try to stay. If you come for one band, try to stay for two. That's what I say, because again, if you're going downtown, if you're going to go see, let's say Arctic Monkeys is having an opener, they normally have 2 to 3 openers. So try to, if you're going to a show that has 6 bands, try to stay for 3.
Yeah, that's good.
Get your money's worth too, because
you're paying for parking and all kinds of crazy stuff at venues.
Yeah,
if you're downtown,
most tickets, because I noticed it was $5, it was 10, now it's 15.
Yeah.
We try to stick to just 10 until people we had one venue, not going to say names because I don't want to get booked there again. They tried to charge 20 for 3 bands, and all of us were like, no, that is.
I was going to ask can you guys control the ticket prices?
We don't think we're worth more than 10 because if we have, because a lot of our fans, they work for a living, right? They have jobs, they have things, and to think
most people in bands work for a living too. You know what I mean? You guys usually have day jobs and stuff.
Exactly. No, we all do. But if you're coming to see us and we're playing a 30-minute set, there's no reason for you to be paying $20 to see a 30-minute set. For us, we feel like $10 is a very fair price, especially Because use that extra $10 get yourself something to drink, and parking as well. So no matter what, it's a
Parking,
20-hour
depending where you are,
minimum $20 outing right there. So
Yeah.
there's no need for us to be money hungry. Because again, with my logic, is you can't be a millionaire without having some questionable morals. And two, for me, my main goal is just to make enough money to make more music. That is it. That's to me would be living comfortably.
See, I love that. Okay. So, since you have played more out of Houston than in Houston, what's the scene like in other places compared to Houston?
So, again, we've gotten a change of grace from Houston. So, ask me this question 6 months ago, would have been a different answer. I would say in Austin, because again, I love pop rock. It is what I like. When I first heard it from my favorite bands, I was like, damn, these guys get it, right? And then you can even go back to, classic rock. Van Halen back then was considered pop rock, and now they're just classic rock, right? So it's weird how titles change with time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So Austin was very accepting of us, and we immediately got a lot more offers to play. It's just a matter of, again, so many people have day jobs. Drummers always have 15 other bands to go work on.
Yeah, we talked about that. Like, Joseph has like 5 bands.
And my bass player, Brian, hi Brian, he's very open and available, so we're just trying to find, because our main drummer right now, he's in a band, he's in school, works full time, and we're not going to tell him, hey, go rip your life up so we can go drive 3 hours for a 45-minute set.
Well, and see, that's,
So-
okay, multi-tiered questions here. Did you always want to be a rock star when you were growing up, right?
No.
Or were you like doctor, lawyer, mechanic, I don't know.
I guess to go a little bit into my life on that is I was a sports guy
Okay.
with a fondness of science.
Basketball? You're kind of tall. You're pretty tall. Did you play basketball? He's really tall. You can't tell because he's sitting on the couch.
So it was
He's
basketball.
blushing. Watch. I think it was basketball. Someone sent in a picture from his yearbook.
So basketball was first, and then I did a semester of college, and then after that, it was really, and this is gonna sound, because I always loved music, especially when you're traveling to play sports. That's all you have. It took watching Bohemian Rhapsody movie for me to be like, I think I could do this. And even if doing this is different for everybody, me just getting up, playing, an hour and a half show makes me forget about all my problems. I don't forget.
I love this. This is cool. There's no right or wrong answer, but I absolutely love this.
To me, it's just like I kind of forget about everything that's wrong, and I get, definitely it's a serotonin high. I am the type of rock star lead singer that gets post-show depression. So I'm like, man, when's my next show? It's like, damn.
Maybe I'm very surprised how many musicians actually have like anxiety disorders and are actually like really introverted.
Mm-hmm. So
like you're on stage, like
well,
I could never.
I don't know. It's just like when the lights are on you, you really can't see too much. And I mean, a lot of times, because again, I play a character of myself on stage, so I'll wear sunglasses inside, right? And it's mostly because the lights are normally right at my face. So some people it goes above them. It's like right there on me. But it kind of allows me to kind of look away, disassociate a little bit. But when I'm off the stage, I'm very open and mingling and trying my best to.
So you like that when people come up and engage with you and stuff?
Of course, no, because I mean
you're not like, oh, I'm a rock star here, just like.
No. I mean, there'd be some times where if I'm running the show, obviously I'm pulled 14 different ways, trying to talk to sound guy, talk to security who's ever going to be there, door lady. The bands are trying to load in because we have a problem with bands always trying to load in all at once.
I've been to a lot of concerts, so I get to sit back and be like, yeah, I get to witness some of these things. Yeah.
So if I'm not running the night, if I'm not having to be showrunner, I will obviously be having a drink and smoke in my hand and just trying to talk to anybody. And if I see a guy with one of these bands we just played with, Inception. So for me, with us having a lot of genres, I had to have a lot of guitars. So I saw a dude come in with an Explorer, and his secondary piece was a Firebird, and I was like, I fucking hate you. Please tell me everything. I'm like, because the thing is, I'm not the most talented guitarist. I am rhythm on stage for a reason. However, they just look cool. They look cool. They sound cool. They're badass.
Well, you look very young, and I'm remembering when that movie came out. So you really haven't been playing music that long, huh?
No.
Did you do it as a hobby or anything, or were your parents just super sports fans?
So my father was a sports fanatic. My mom definitely encouraged me to have other creative outlets. No, I just like would practice a lot, and I started randomly studying why certain songs sounded cool and why they sounded the way they did. So like in my songs, there is a lot of math kind of put into it, as far as like the timing, beat, because like my songs are in a 4/4, but if you like bands like Kiss or Van Halen, the lead singer actually sings in a 6/8, which, or if you think Fleetwood Mac, during the main chorus, like thunder, right? She's coming in a little bit before and delayed a little bit after to give a little bit sound texture.
Yeah.
And then modern day artists like Jack Antonoff, who produced Sabrina Carpenter's Short and Sweet, 1975's Being Playing a Foreign Language, his own project Bleachers, or his old projects. He does a lot of stuff like that as well. And again, we have like our folk song By Your Side off of our debut EP. It's just an acoustic song with me just singing, right? But we started adding a lot of slide and a lot of piano in the background, just to give a little bit of ear texture. And then we decided to do some kind of interesting where we kind of just had that play 40 seconds after the song was over. And then that kind of gives us the ability to go on stage and like walk off during that part, walk off and then come back on because, we're rock stars,
Because you guys can do that.
It's like, yeah, why the fuck not? Like obviously like you like turn the head, there's no green room, you just see us right there, just like, oh yeah. So, but no, as far as like that, I just really got curious one day. And again, like driving and traveling so much, you gotta kill time somehow. And I'm not really one to just doom scroll all the time. So like, I will try to like just watch a YouTube video of a producer.
What are we gonna do next week when we lose that app? Like the world's gonna fall apart.
I've always been an Instagram guy, so always got like the really dark memes from there, but
I only got that stupid app during COVID, and I'm like, what did we do before that?
Right.
I don't know what I did because I never was into I don't know, it was like Vine or something. It was
Fine, yeah. Oh my god.
There was all these other things before that, and I'm like, shit, what are we gonna do?
Right.
So do you think social media helps or hurts musicians?
So I have a controversial opinion because, again, I know, so my band has a TikTok. I don't do anything with it. I really just did it to claim the name. So for me,
scammers, no, like seriously.
I understand why bands do it. I don't want to become a content band. When you come to my page, I want it because you like the music, you like our aesthetic. So even on our Instagram, we try to stay very consistent. Like, the only time we ever change is if, it's October, here we go. We'll do a little bit of red for blood, right? We're now entering a new era, so we're no longer doing like black and white. We're not doing safety, right? We're not doing this vintage type of film grain, just to distinguish the look, right? And so, for me, I believe to help you in your era as a band, it helps round it out. But as far as algorithm's sake, it's very hard because a lot of bands are posting covers and only covers, and then they'll be doing any type of TikTok trend, and it's worked for so many bands. I'm not saying not to do it. For me personally, that's just something I know could be considered career suicide. I may never get to the next level, but at the same time, I'm wanting to work on art. I want to work on whether that be 5 people seeing it or the few thousand people that have followed and see it. It does not matter to me.
No, I've had another band that was like, we don't care if no one comes to our shows. Like, we're doing this because we love it. Like,
exactly.
It's like they're doing it for them, not for other people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I think it hurts sometimes, bands. I think the bands don't utilize it though either as much as they could.
Yeah, and you kind of fall in that weird...
Even just sharing flyers or something, you know what I mean? I'm like...
We do a lot of stuff like posting on our story and stuff like that, and then we have like a close friends where, we'll post like some silly goofy stuff of us just messing around at practice or music video shoots, whatever. So we kind of like allow like our day oneers in a little bit. But when we post, obviously we don't post every single day. So when we do, normally people get a notification like we just posted for the first time in a couple weeks.
Who is in charge of that? Is it like you? Are you in charge of everything? Or
I definitely delegate a lot of the work.
Okay.
I definitely have had some friends that are not musically inclined come and help me. And so, but I am like the show runner, like nothing will get approved. Like, and again, that's just I don't know. You can call it dictatorship, but if anyone's gonna kill this project, it's gonna be me.
I mean, you're like the original OG member of this band, right? Still
yeah,
standing. So
yeah, me and my producer are pretty much the only two that are the original. Because even like the guitarist we get to work with, I do when I send demos out, and I have the ability to just message and contact so many great musicians. I don't want, and it's gonna sound kind of shitty, I don't want to have the same people for each one. Like obviously, if I think they're gonna be perfect for it, I will bring them back on. But I want to distinguish sound, right? I don't want us to, same guitar, same fingers, same pedal board. It'll get delayed after a while. It'll start to feel like we're rinsing and repeating. So even though we have multiple pop rock songs, if I use different guitar players or different bass players and drummers, the song can feel fresh, and we're not going to oversaturate a market we're trying to build up for ourselves.
So that's a question I usually ask, and I don't know if it really pertains to you because you really haven't been in Houston that long. Do you think that there's bands that a lot of people don't come out to shows because our scene gets oversaturated, right? You could see someone technically maybe on a Thursday and then a Saturday and maybe even a Sunday on the same week, you know what I mean?
I guess for me,
twice a month, so it's like, well, I can just catch the next one.
I wouldn't say like particularly for a band. If you play a lot in one town, you do lose the I gotta see them now.
Okay.
You'll always get the I can see next
I'm
time.
really trying to figure out why people aren't coming to shows. I'm like, is that why?
So
like
we've noticed like
we can't blame COVID anymore, I don't think.
Because last year we did a lot of shows in Houston, and we even just did the show. We took 2 months off, had people come out.
Okay.
So when a touring band comes, you have a date to prepare yourself to go to that show. And normally a tour is announced 3 months out before they start. So if Houston's normally in the middle, so it's around 6 months we have for touring acts. And that's if they're not doing something overseas first. So you're looking at almost a year. For Houston, if you do a lot of shows, it's like, let's say when in May, right? Oh man, they have a show coming up. Hey, are we busy Friday? Oh, okay. We'll just catch them on the next one. You lose the ability to have a lot of people at one stop. So when we do go out of town for 3 or 4 shows in a row and then come back, then we notice we have more people. And again, it's not something that we like, oh yeah, we're gonna completely keep manipulating the people who want to see us. No. Each show that we do is not only content for us to post about, make us look cool. It's to meet new exciting bands. We always try to have at least one new act with us when we play, or a new venue if we're playing with friends we've already played with 1,000 times. And then again, just being able to play our shows, perfect our craft. Like this last show, I'll say like personally for me, like normally I'm like really like adrenaline based, like super hyper. This last show we did, it felt such true to form that we've always done that it's now becoming like second nature. And that's a good thing for me, but also at the same time it's like, okay, I need to do something different now to help me still feel excited about doing a lot of shows.
When were you there? Last weekend?
Yes.
Saturday?
Friday night.
So shout out to Spencer. Spencer's your sound guy. Was Spencer your sound guy?
Yes. Yes.
Shout out to Spencer.
He hated my guts
He's
the
here.
first show.
He has a space here.
He hated my guts the first show we did, and then like after 4 shows, he's like, man, I love you guys. I'm like, at first, I was like, man.
He is the Eeyore of the music scene. I love you, Spencer.
That's a perfect way to describe him.
I love him so much. He's the Eeyore of the music scene. Tip your sound guy.
He's definitely something else. And I anytime someone comes up and warns me, I go, listen, he's like a tiger, right? He's gonna maul you to death, or you can be patient, and eventually you might get like a belly scratch.
And he knows actually a lot about the music scene, right? Because I'm always trying to get you bands to give advice to the newcomer, right? Maybe there's that kid that's got 1 million followers on TikTok and wants to start a band or something, but doesn't know what to do outside of social media, right? So do you just go to open mics, or
I would say avoid.
Are there jam session places where if you're a bassist you could go, or drummer you could go?
For me, and from what I've seen,
you'll meet people, and please don't say Craigslist.
No, God no.
Please don't say that.
Avoid Craigslist and Tinder, right?
A couple bands, and I'm like,
so there's apps
trigger
now.
warning: do not get on Craigslist to meet people. Oh my god.
So there's apps now like Vamper, which is pretty much Tinder for musicians. However, we all are. If you're trying to be a successful musician, you're going to be very busy and sometimes too busy to respond to an app that you just downloaded. If you are a singer, if you're a guitar player, if you're a bass player, drummer, whatever, go to a show. Every single member of that band is in another band. Unless
I really think that's how
unless
it
it's
is.
ran by the
Seriously.
singer, right? Which is me.
Which is you.
I'm not in any other band. Like I have a project that's away from Win in May. Like will just be my demos. Things I'm like, I like it. Not for this though. But go and talk to people. That's it.
Networking. I push that
and just
so
talk
hard
to
on
them.
people.
Definitely come with them with an idea. Don't be like, I want to start a band, and never follow through with it. Try to have a few demos. There are producers that you can find online that are like, hey, I want to make it just a simple demo. Sometimes, now, I've met people that will charge $50 to $100 just to get a demo out, give them references. If you know nothing at all, start with music you like. If you know fuck all about music, start with music you like, figure out why it works, and then when you're writing, maybe reference your favorite bands, and then eventually you'll find your sound, you'll find your niche, you'll find your ticks, and there's no pressure to find your sound because there's bands that still don't have a sound after being decades and multiple albums.
True.
You know, they kind of just changed up. A band that was really successful that I think hindered them sticking too much to a similar sound was Greta Van Fleet. They were the best rock band of the modern era and completely whimpered out when they tried to do something different. And again, phenomenal musicians. They're way richer than me. No knock to them. They figured out something that worked and they ran with it. Just as far as like in the rock scene, you know, like Mainskin's killing it. I don't consider Imagine Dragons really rock.
No.
So I would say Mainskin's probably the only rock band at the moment right now that's, you know. Again, I'm talking like in your face, on
Right.
TV, on radio all the time. Obviously, there's bands like 3 Days Grace is still kicking it. They even had their old singer back. So there are rock bands that are still doing good, but as far as new and up and coming rock bands, that's pretty much it.
Well, and even so like the local scene, we don't even have radio stations that support local music.
Mm-hmm.
The buzz had been the last couple of years. They did this holiday stuff where like local the bands could play. They didn't even just do that this year. I didn't even notice that till like after Christmas.
Yeah,
and
no,
I was like,
so
wait, where was that holiday thing that they usually do? Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, do they have radio stations that support the
yes.
local music scene?
So with that, that's like another.
So I'm gonna get sued by the buzz or something. I'm gonna have to be like, beep.
Marketing is the biggest thing. So marketing, you don't have to sit there and make a TikTok ad, right? There are a lot of independent radio stations. Unfortunately, we were on a few independent stations down in California. You know, donate what you can to the.
Yeah, seriously.
So please. But we've been very lucky for because we know what a single is and what's not, right? Because I feel like a lot of bands here in Houston release a lot of experimental music first, and then try to save what singles should be the singles for their EP. We know to get drop the candy for the fat kid, right? To kind of keep it,
yeah.
right? So what we like to do is we like to find entrepreneurs like yourself trying to build a brand and reach out saying we would love to be a part of it because again we feel like we can bring you viewership, we feel like we can be introduced to your fans, and so we do that same thing with blogs, small independent magazines, people that make signs. We have a couple people like in Tennessee that have helped us out in Florida, California. We've been on UK rock radio, over in England.
That is so cool.
So because we haven't been afraid. Now here's the thing: people are shit, right? I can curse, right?
Yeah, no, you can.
So people are absolute fucking shit. So you gotta understand, you can make something that's so fucking phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of Sabrina Carpenter's Please Do Please. I'm a fucking simp for that song. There are people, grown men, that just hate it, right? Nothing wrong with the song.
Right.
Or they can give their criticisms like, oh yeah, the song needs double kick bass. It's like, hey, how about you chill out, right? Chill out. So you're gonna face a lot of rejection. Only thing you gotta do is with your circle of friends and your family that listen to their opinion, and if you get a bad review, it don't fucking matter, right? Again, how we started was we released a demo as an official version because we put demo, it puts asterisks, right? It's not done, it's not finished. So if I don't listen to it now, it's whatever, it's gonna change. So it was a tactic, and we definitely trust me.
It's actually really smart.
That song definitely it was it was very much mixed received. It was getting good streams, good numbers. It was getting accepted a lot, but we also heard a lot of bad things about it. So as we were going in the studio and fixing everything and making it an actual song, which the EP that you have is the official version. You know, put it on max, jam, you hear all the textures. Because we got a mandolin in that song. It's one I fucking love the mandolin, right? You like Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls? You're gonna fucking like Keep Red.
I love it.
And then we re-recorded a lot of the parts with 12 string as well. So like we definitely love to throw in weird instruments, but
which is cool because it makes it a unique sound, which makes you guys stand out.
Yeah.
Here's some of my biggest critiques about the music scene. Logos I cannot read. Okay, and apparently that's like a whole culture. But like,
yeah, I don't know.
How do I market you if I
mean,
cannot
that's
read your?
I can't read either.
Can't
so.
read your sign. And is there actually words in some of these songs, or is it just screaming? Because I hear some bands, and I swear to God, it's just screaming.
So, with our EP, and I guess if I were to break it down song by song, you have postmodern contemporary orchestra, you have pop rock, you have R&B, you have alt rock, and then you have folk. We do have a dual single that we released called Living in a Dream Simulation and Repeat Yesterday, which is more postmodern contemporary orchestra, and then hard rock. I don't really put it, because I'm still saying words, I do like a sing talk thing, right? I don't really try to like, I do scream a little bit in it,
I've had some
but you can
be
hear
like,
me.
depends on the night sometimes, we're just screaming, and I'm like, see, I do it.
Like, live performances, when the crowd's feeling, because how we run our sets and our shows is we will do all of our poppy, experimental stuff at the beginning, and then we end it on the rock note, right? So all of our like rock songs, alt rock, or heavier stuff, that's at the end. We build up to the rock show portion of the night, right? And again, because we know our music and our scene here, that's what people want to come see. And if we can give them a little bit of something else, right? It's like a buffet. We give them a little bit.
I can't wait to come to a show. I'm not even lying. I cannot wait to come see a show.
So yeah, that's what we just try to do, and like we try to like pander to our audience. Like again, like we have a band that we know has a few rock songs. We have a band that's like very much like bluesy or like again disco or funk, whatever. We know, okay, we're gonna have these audiences come together. And this wasn't like me trying to be tactful, like, oh my god, I want to do different genres to get a little piece of every pie. Again, my goal with the band is have a lot of different genres.
Well, and it's original music, right? So we have a lot of great cover bands here in Houston.
Oh, tons.
And when I'm like, oh, what advice for newcomers? There have been some people that have been like, if you want to start a band, get into cover band music because that's how you make money. But if you do that, is it hard to then start introducing your own work? Do you know what I mean?
So
like, how do you slide that in if you're a cover band? How does that work?
Here's what I've done as a musician. I've told my bands like we will never do a cover. So there's been some bands that they want to do original music, but they don't have nothing. They start out doing a cover. So they'll do shows and just do covers, right? That is really great for the divorced dads, the single moms that are in the crowd to get up and dance. But as soon as you're about to play an original song, they'll get up and leave because they don't know it. So that will kind of discourage a lot of people starting out very early on. And this is what I've noticed. So what I'll do is there's a lot of musicians who refuse to play, and they're really getting it.
They really are.
That will, want to start doing more originals, and they feel like they suck. I've come in sometimes like, hey, I think you play great. If you're used to playing covers, you don't have to write it. Here's tabs. You play original music with me, and that's been a great way for me to meet a lot of my close friends and musicians. And even then, like, even if we've only done like 1 or 2 shows together, we do our best to always stay in contact. And when music videos come around, again, we don't have like a lot of our songs have 8 different guitar tracks, right? I can't do all of it, right? So even if on stage when we're running with a click track with us, for videos we still made that connection. We meet a friend like, hey, have your band come out, let's mingle, let's make it a networking thing, So
how do you find the time? Do you have a day job? You don't have to tell me where it is.
I do have a day job. I have a few different jobs. I've managed to put myself in a position where I can make my own schedule, but also it's sacrifice. Do I want to sit up all night watching TV? Sure, why not? Do I want to play my video games? Of course. Or I could use that time to do my vocals, right? I do my vocals at my house. I could use that time to market, email people, or like again, like I work out a lot. So if I'm on the treadmill, if I'm on the Stairmaster or sauna, I'll go to my checklist of like, have I emailed this with this? Have I done this? It's just integrating time here and there. And again, like there's a lot of people that go to the bathroom and will stay in there for 45 minutes, right? I'll do the same thing. Might as well get a couple emails sent out. And again, like
now see, I'm always on my phone, and it's not me being rude or looking at TikToks. I'm like, literally, like, you know what I mean, sending emails and working. So I'm like,
yeah, just trying to make sure.
in my phone.
Of course. So again, like I do try to make time where I set my phone down if I'm trying to spend time with somebody.
Are your parents supportive of this?
Yes.
Like, have they been to shows?
Yes. So my father's been to shows. My mother never, unfortunately, got to see me before she passed. But she's very much an integral part. We'll do Easter eggs where I have her voicemail somewhere in the set. We did something where we started the show with her voicemail instead of our normal intro because it was around her passing, our anniversary of passing. So we did that, and I had my bandmates crying more than me with it.
Yeah, that would be
So, but no, my dad's very supportive.
I would be bawling.
My dad's very supportive, but also I do a lot of work. There are some musicians that will sit on the couch that I put a bad stigma on musicians that are trying, that will sit on the couch and be like, yeah, how come, Fueled by Ramen has not discovered me yet because I've never sent my tapes, I've never contacted anyone, never made a connection. To me, I'm not trying to make, I'm not trying to get signed. I would love to be, but at the same time, I'm doing things and hitting my own goals that I'm achieving. Whether it be getting a couple thousand listeners consistently, awesome. Having a couple hundred subscribers on YouTube, awesome. A couple thousand Instagram followers. I would love for those to stay millions one day. But obviously everyone's just one song away,
You never know.
Exactly.
The craziest things become trending, so
I
you
know.
never know.
I know, and
Oh
that's
my
another
God.
thing too. Like even with Chappell Roan, she, it took a while for that whole album to even get recognition. So it takes time, and you never know. Like I could be 10 years from now retired from it, and then one of the old songs I put out blows up, and next thing you know, hey, there we go, never too late. Look at Jelly Roll, So
long time. Yeah,
so
and
I
then,
mean,
look at
again,
'em.
there's no real timetable for those things, and if you compare it, that's the deeper joy. So I'm just trying my best each day to just compare myself to yesterday, because at that point I'm always wondering. So
I love it. Oh my goodness. Do you want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Oh, I mean, I gotta give it up for my drummer. He's the drummer of the Inhalers. So he's been very awesome. He's been holding it down. I got another Brian, my bass player Brian, from Preserve. I give it out to Keon Nahali, one of the best producers locally. Give it out for my other producer, Jordan Humphreys. He's the one who helped us with Repeat yesterday, which has gained us the respect in Houston because of that song. And then I gotta thank my parents for choosing to keep me. So
Hey, there you go. That's well done. You said the Houston scene, like, for accepting you. Do you think, is that a hard thing? Is it not a very welcome, because I'm not a musician, do you know what I mean?
So I'm gonna say, the way that we dress when we walk into a room, we do not blend. People have said to us so often, we thought you guys were gonna be assholes.
Really?
Yeah, no, that's the persona we want to give off. We do come across as sellout pop rock boy band type, and you'll hear it even in our music, especially with Cheap Red and After the Breakup. Those songs definitely scream polished radio generated garbage. But then people started listening to it after Repeat yesterday. They gave us another chance and listened through everything again, and even though this was the song that got them to sink back in, they tell me their favorites is off the EP. And I sat on Repeat for a while because it didn't fit. To me, it didn't fit. I'm like, okay, I'll release this around October. Be a nice song, to rock hard to.
Right.
But that gave people a chance to listen to us, and we kind of showcased that, that's the point, right? That what we were doing at the beginning was the point. And again, it's a look factor. when we do our photo shoots, we look a little bit better than guys that are wearing flip-flops and shorts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing too, a lot of like PR managers will tell like bands like, you know, get a look. You know, you don't have to dress the same, you don't have to wear a tie or whatever, but wear something where y'all look like you try to be on stage, like you look part of the
Because
same
everyone
band.
kind of does wear the same. It's like jeans and like band shirts, right?
You know,
So.
for us, you know, we just do formal dress wear, and we're not the only band to ever do that.
No, that's true. You guys are.
You know, but we do a lot of small things where like you know it's us when we're, you know, if you're scrolling through a slide, there's some bands that when you're scrolling through, and like let's say you're a photographer and you're just spam posting, right? I don't know if it's the same band or not, but then bands, there's been a few bands in Houston that you can tell they're the same band, you know, because they'll do something where they're close together or they'll intermingle throughout through the sets or do like a choreographed dance move. Just small things like that where you can tell like, hey, this is still the same band. And with us, we've definitely hit that mark of like, okay, yeah, you can tell it's us. Whether it be our rows on the kick drum, or like our stage props, whatever, or me strangling my bass player because we've had some great success.
I think that's all bands. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all
the
bands.
singer and bass player in every band will always say each other. And like again with Brian, my bass player,
I think maybe the drummer has more issues with other people sometimes too, though.
Yeah, you know, I see him up there and he's like, "Oh, can you help me load in?" It's like you're the one who chose to play that clunky ass thing. Listen, I purposely play guitar and a microphone. All right, I carry two things in at most.
Drummers have like all this shit.
And you need to get a road hand, all right? Like I tell every drummer, have a kid, raise them. They're now your road hand. Like that's what you do.
I love it. I have a 15-year-old. You can borrow her.
Put her to work.
Put her to work. She's not gonna be a babysitter. No, just learn to set up drums. That'll be more fun. Yeah, I guess I could see where but it's good to be unique, right? It's good. Don't you want to be unique maybe and be different? So people are like, if they didn't come to see you guys, but they stayed for another show, they're like, wait, there was those one guys that were like,
I can't say
dressed different. I'm telling you, that might be a
lot of
thing
people
that
have.
sticks.
What's really cool is like, not to brag, we get recognized in the mall sometimes in Baybrook, only because of all the wrong reasons. But no, they'll say that like they'll like come up to us. I've been caught a few times where they're like, hey, you're like lead singer. I didn't stay for your set, but I know who you are. Like, and they'll pull up their phone and like, hey, can I like.
Well, is that weird when that happens?
Oh my god, my ego just inflates. Whoever I'm with, I'm like, yeah, you're getting that. Yeah, you're buying that for me, right? It's like, I'm the star, I'm the lead singer of the band wouldn't make it. And then I recently took a trip to New Orleans, and again, this is my whole wardrobe, right? So people are stopping me. I'm like, hey, this is like, you look cool. They're like, what do you do? It's like, you know, because it's hot as hell.
Yeah.
I'm wearing this. I'm like, yeah, I'm a, you know, I fucking love paint apparently. And I was telling me I'm a lead singer. They're like, oh, is it original music? I said yes. And then we got so many more people popping up just listening. And again, don't be scared. Talk to people, you know, like anybody that's like in my life or that's close to me, I will tell them like, okay, like this isn't like the music thing. This is my career. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. Whether that's producing, being on stage, or just releasing music. This is what I do. This is a key characteristic. If I send you a 7-minute song and you tell me at the 4-minute mark that, oh, you listened to it already, I hate your guts. You're off my Christmas card list. But so that's the point. It is a key part of me. So people that are around me in my life, I don't tell them to lie to me. I tell them, give me the truth, support me, tell me that shit. Be my friend and tell me I need to go back in and redo vocals or redo my guitar or something. Let me know if you like it or not, because hey, you never know. But at the same time, if you're my friend, listen, if I'm drunk at a bar, let me embarrass myself. This day, internet, that stays up forever, okay?
Yes, the internet is forever. But honesty is good. A lot of people on American Idol were lied to. Shut up. I am serious. I have seen, and I'm like, no,
there's been some great acts that have got turned away. There's some incredibly bad acts that I think were only for memes.
I love it. Was this good? Did you have fun?
No, this is such an easy and fun conversation.
It's super chill. It's super chill. I always just tell people, it's like, for you, it's there. It's just like us hanging out. And now you'll have to convince the rest of the band to come and do it again.
Oh no, of course. Again,
lots of bands like send one person to like scope it out, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, now we'll do it again."
definitely. you know, if we're able to come back, especially with the EP,
I can come to you guys.
that would be awesome.
I
Yeah.
can come to you guys.
Yeah, no, if you could come to us one time, especially when the EP is close to being either done or probably out at the time, you know, we'd love to have a full band session, just like to chat, you know.
That would be cool. And now that you've been on my podcast, I get to share you with the Houston Collective, so that'll be cool. And eventually you will be in the rotation on my Friday night spot, so that'll be fun.
Lovely.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And I cannot wait to come to a show. So one more time, next shows that are coming up.
So you can catch us January 31st at the White Swan and then February 1st at Dan Fletcher's. If you would like to hear something new that is going to be dropping January 27th, that's a Monday, to spice up everyone's Monday, make it a little bit more cinematic. We have our song Big Loud coming out, and that one has been a fan favorite since day one. So finally got it out. It's the bouncing badass baby sister of Cheap Red Wine, and if you like pop rock, you're gonna love it.
I love it. And we can find you on all of the social media platforms, right?
Yes. Well, we're mostly active on Instagram, but we do have a YouTube. We do have, you know, Spotify, all the streaming, you know, distributors.
And usually Instagram, what's your Instagram hashtag so people can find you?
So we're WinInMay_band.
I'll have all that stuff in the bio.
So yeah.
This is so much fun. Yay. Let me do shout outs real quick to Lucid Scream Studios. Thank you for putting up with my shenanigans and letting me film here. And the Houston Collective for picking up the podcast, because that's just super crazy. Yay, you can wave and say bye.
Bye.
Yay!